What up, guys? Jason Guyman here with King of Pressure Wash, and tonight we're going to talk about how to get you to six figures, whether that's 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, million. Well, that's more than six figures. But we're going to talk about how I did it, and I'm going to talk about just how you can grow and scale your business. And so this week, I just got back from Portland, Oregon. I was up there with Mr. Tim Cray. We had a great class. It was awesome seeing everybody up there. And so that is awesome to see people starting their business and growing their business. We had people that were just starting out. I had people that had been in business for a couple years. We had a 24-year-old kid that had been in business for 7 years, I think 5 on his own, and he had done over $500,000 last year. And so that is what is cool when you come to my trainings or training, that you can see and you can network with other people. It might not, I always tell people that when you go to a training, you might not learn what you needed to learn in the training. It might be somebody that you networked with that will set you apart, or that will talk into your life, that will help you be able to go from where you are now to where you want to go at, right? When you get into a room and you have like-minded people, it's amazing how things happen and how you're able to grow your business by getting together, by talking with each other and helping each other. And it's amazing of what you can do. So it was an awesome class that we had. We did Christmas lights, marketing, and then pressure washing. And then I flew home today. And so I am probably might look tired. Might get some crazy eyes going here. You just never know. If you didn't know, I have crazy eyes. Sometimes when I get tired, they go crazy. And so I actually had surgery when I was 20 to straighten them out. But sometimes my right eye goes wonky. And yes, my left eye is my dominant eye. So if you didn't know that, now you do. That Jason has crazy eyes too. So it's just one of those things. So it was awesome to go out and see Tim and to help people and learn about their business and how we are able to help people grow their business, right? My goal is to help you grow your business. My goal is to give you the things that you need to do. I can't do it for you, but I can help guide you. I can help you go and do things so that you can grow your business, so that you can be successful. And so that is my goal. My goal is however I need to do to help you so that you can grow your business. So with that, I hope everyone's having an awesome Sunday. I know that the grass is starting to grow. I just mowed my grass last week right before I went to Portland, and I get home and it needs to be mowed again. And it was almost 80 degrees today, which is awesome, which means the phone should be ringing for you if you've done the things that you need to do to get your phone to ring. And so it is one of the things that you have to figure out, how to get your phone to ring. And once you do, that is what it is. So with that, we'll see who all we got in here tonight. My book of the week. Which book of my week am I going to grow on? My book of the week is going to be this one here. It's been a while since I pulled this book out, but I honestly think this book here can help you if you struggle with sales. I had a guy message me that he's struggling with sales. He's doing some things. He's got his pressure washer. He's got his trailer. He's put out yard signs. He's doing door to door, but he can't get sales. And so what I would tell you is this is a good book to read to help you understand what you need to do. And it's called The Ultimate Sales Guide, or The Ultimate Sales Machine. I would highly recommend you this book. It's a great book. It talks about how to put scripts together. We talked on this pretty hard this week. Yes, we did the role play in the class, got people uncomfortable. I like getting people uncomfortable because if you want to grow your business and be successful, you got to do the hard things. The best things are on the other side of hard things. And I get it. There's fear, and fear is the number one dream killer, right? If you allow fear to hold you back, if you allow fear to keep you from wanting to go where you need to go at, that is going to be your number one biggest problem that you are going to have, that you have to just start taking baby steps, right? If you start taking baby steps to kick that fear, you will be amazed at how fear will go away when you just start doing the hard things. It's not easy. It never is. And the next thing that you do will become a hard thing. But if you're willing to and do the things that you need to do to grow your business, it's amazing of what you can accomplish. Got a 20-year-old this week that did $160,000 last year. His goal was with Christmas lights last year was to do 10 houses to do $20,000. He ended up doing $90,000 by just doing what I told him to do. And he didn't even he just did on my online stuff and watched my videos, and he was able to do $90,000 just in Christmas lights alone by doing what I say. Is there cheap guys in Portland? Absolutely. Is there cheap guys in Christmas lights? Absolutely. Is there cheap guys in pressure washing? Absolutely. You can tell me in any market that you can't get that in my area, and I will look at you and straight in the eyes and say someone is. I guarantee it. You aren't, because you don't believe in yourself. And so when you don't believe in yourself, when you don't know what to look at and say, I didn't believe in myself. When I first started this business, I did not believe in myself. I promise you, I did not believe in myself at all. I was a person that I did very little sales. I have a mechanic background. I was literally turning wrenches. I would go work on heavy equipment out in the middle of nowhere all by myself, right? That was who I was. My last job before I became a fireman, I was working on cranes. I literally drove all over the country and worked on junkyard cranes. There's not too many people in junkyards that you're talking to, right? You're looking at this machine, you're fixing it, and you're moving on. So those are things that you've got to learn to be able to do this. Public speaking, right? Even no matter what type of public speaking it is, the better you are and the more comfortable you become as a better speaker, the better off you will be able to grow your business, and you will be able to dominate things by doing this and by growing your business. So I know I kind of went on a rant here, but I just kind of want you to understand that there's awesome things on the other side of hard, because you can keep your 9-to-5 job, and that's going to be hard for the rest of your life, and you're going to struggle there, right? Or you can go do other things to be able to grow your business. Just the topic I'm looking for is Mr. George Yost. Big time. How are you doing? We got Jason with down in Florida, 6-figure starts with the first $1,000 day, first $10,000 month, and then you're off to the races. And you can definitely do it. Jason did over $250,000 last year being part-time, working a full-time firefighting job, and didn't work hardly any weekends, because that's how you are able to grow your business and able to scale your business. So that's what I'm talking about. What's up, Sean? How are you doing? I got stuff going every which way here. Sean, hey folks, what's up? Everyone is going great. Me too. On the eyes, Jason. Playing in the big leagues next week, a $19,000 job, right? I just said, a $19,000 job is amazing. But he didn't get there by just hoping, right? You can hope all you want. Jason Hefner has been taking action, and when you take action, things happen, right? I preach about the LinkedIn game. It doesn't just happen overnight. And so he's been working his LinkedIn. He's been doing all of the things. He goes, flips rocks, right? He goes, knocks on doors. These are the things of what set you apart. You know, when I see people say, well, Jason, I put out signs. Well, how many signs did you put out? Did you put out 3,000, or have you put out 300, or have you put out 30? Because if you only put out 30 signs, you're probably not going to work. It's just like if you only do one Facebook page, one Facebook post a month, it's not going to work, right? We got to 10x this stuff. We got to be prolific. We got to be relentless, and we got to be consistent. We got to do it over and over and over. Is there weeks that you're not going to get calls? Absolutely. There's weeks. There might be 2 weeks you don't get calls, but then that third week, because you're consistent and they keep showing up and you keep doing the things that you're doing, guess what? The phone will blow up on you. And that's what you got to do to be able to grow your business. Let's go. I need these live chats to keep my mind right as I started, since I keep seeing guys doing houses, driveways for less than $400. And you are going to see it. And you know what you're going to see? You're going to see them go out of business, because you can't stay in business without knowing what to charge. I did a video last week or 2 weeks ago of why are we charging $300 to $400 an hour? Why? Because our cost is way more than just, oh, I just have bleach and a pressure washer, right? That's what these guys think, and that's not what it is. Stay consistent, prolific, and relentless. Hey, guys, I just got my LLC license insurance. I've done a lot of jobs already for family and friends. I'm wondering, what do you all think I should do for my first marketing wave? I've got $1,000 for yard signs. That's about the best thing that you're going to be able to do. Budget. How to increase leads. We're doing yard signs, CPC $1,500 a month, LSA $140 a week, organic Facebook, and have 50% conversion rate. We could take 40% more jobs. How do we get to do that without a bigger marketing? I mean, on your LSA, I would go all you can. I would do everything you can on that. On your CPC, you got to do the little things, right? You got to keep doing them. You got to keep pushing them. You got to keep putting yard signs out. You got to keep doing organic. You just got to keep doing it. You got to hit the groups, whatever you need to do. Where do you buy buffer tanks? I'm gonna buy them local if I can, so you don't have to do it. Or you can buy them online, but Tank Depot, I always got my buffer tanks either from like Tractor Supply. Actually, I got another place that gets tanks even cheaper here. What's a realistic price for a 150-gallon tank? You're probably looking at $500 to $600 is where you're going to be at for that size tank. $700 for a 200-gallon. It's expensive. Yep. Gotcha. I want to spend $300 on Yay. Should I do Facebook or I would do all yard signs. I wouldn't put no money in Facebook ads or Google ads. I wouldn't do it. There's a reason why I wouldn't do it, because you're probably not going to get much out of them. Get at least 1,000 yard signs, about $400 to $500 Facebook. For the rest, if you feel like you have to spend it. Okay, thank you. All right. Hey, I've been listening to all live on all of your videos driving today. Do you have a course on Christmas lights? I do. It's at christmaslights.io. Christmaslights.io is where all my Christmas light stuff is. And I do have a Christmas light channel. If you didn't know, if you look up Christmas lights help, I think you'll find it pretty easy there. I'm doing a lot on Christmas lights here. So, all right. So let's talk about this. Did I have thousands of dollars to make my first $100,000? No. Did I do it in my first year? No. Was I the $99 guy? Yes, I did do some $99 guy. So I started my business, and this was way back in the day in 2012 when there was no Facebook groups. There was these things called forums, and these forums, people would literally hate on you. Like, if you asked a dumb question, it was terrible for you. You would hate life if this happened to you. And so as I was growing my business, I started out, I didn't have no money. We were broke. We were in debt. My wife and I, we had lots of debt. And so through this, I was able to get on Facebook or in Craigslist, and I was able to find an old trailer, $400 old trailer, and it was out in the pasture. I had to go out past cows to be able to get to this to this trailer. And on this trailer there was 2 mowers on them, and they looked like they needed to go straight to the dump. So I was able to pull this thing out of the pasture, and I was able to get it to my house. And I am a mechanic by trade, so that is where I was able to do this. And so as I was bringing this thing home, I was like, all right, I want to start me a pressure washing business, right? So I took the 2 lawnmowers and I made one because that's all I could. The other one was completely junk, but I took one motor off one, put it on the other, and I was able to get one of these mowers going. And there I got on Craigslist, and there was a guy trading he wanted a pressure washer. He had a 4-gallon minute pressure washer, and I don't remember what he was asking, or trade for a lawnmower. So I traded him this crappy old lawnmower for this pressure washer. And this pressure washer, it was okay. And I used it for almost 2 years. Like I had to put a new pump on it, but I kept the motor on it. And so that's how I was able to start my business. And so my very first year, I didn't know what I was doing. I had yard signs for gutter cleaning, but I never really did anything for pressure washing. And so, I thought that like everybody does, that you just go buy equipment and people will start having you pressure wash their houses. And I was wrong, right? I was wrong that I thought that I could just go out there and have this amazing equipment and people would just start using me. So back in the day, there was this thing called Groupon, and Living Social, I think, was the other one. Basically, you told them what the price was. They sold it for $200. They put it out everywhere, the $200, and then they give you $100, and they kept the $100. So they got 50% of whatever you brought in. So that's how I was doing my $100 house washes, because they were getting $100 for it back then. And so my very first year, I did right around $34,000 or $36,000 my very first year. It wasn't great, but this was in 2012, and I didn't have much in equipment, and so it was better than nothing. So from there, I went, and like everybody does, the newfangled dangle thing, right? What is the new shiny object of, Facebook ads? This person's saying that how much he's getting off Facebook ads, or, this person says how good a website is. So there was this chick that was at the huge convention. It's a big pressure washing thing. And she was like, you know what? Everybody was like, if you pay her, you will get business. And so I paid her the $4,000, and I waited and waited and waited and waited. And my phone never rang from the $4,000 that I paid. And so I was like, well, that's stupid. So I went, and I was still waiting on my phone to ring, and it wouldn't ring. And so I was like, well, I can't wait no more. I'm going to be completely out of business here. So I went and I started doing yard signs. I put pressure washing on them. Actually, I put house washing on them, and I put my phone number. But from there, I've learned that house washing doesn't do as good as pressure washing. And so as I started growing my business, I started to think about what I was doing to be able to get me to $100,000. What do I need to do? I did $36,000. This is what I did. How do I get to $100,000? What do I need to do? And so what I learned is I got to do more marketing. But I spent $4,000 on this website. It's supposed to be bringing me all this money in, and it wasn't. Right. And so from there, I started learning of how to do marketing, because marketing is the number one key of this business. You can have the best equipment out there. You can be the best pressure washer. I know some of the best pressure washers out there, and they're broke, right? Because you can be the best pressure washer out there all day long, but that doesn't mean people are going to pay you, because you got to go find the right customers. I know a lot of of really awesome pressure washers, and they're so scared. They don't know how to do marketing. They don't know how to do sales. And so they're doing house washes at, 15 cents, 10 cents a square foot. And they're doing a 2,000 square foot house for $199, right? And there is no money to be made in that. And they might tell me, oh, but it only takes me an hour, and you made $200, but what did it cost you? And so that is when I started to learn how to grow a business. That's when I learned that if you want to grow a business, you got to take action, right? You got to learn, you got to grow. And, the guy that was doing $500,000 that came up to me, that's 24 years old this week, all he does is do roof cleaning, right? He focuses on roof cleaning. He's not doing Christmas lights. He's only focusing on roof cleaning. And I'm like, well, he's asking me, what do I need to do? And I said, the number one thing you can do is you have to invest in yourself, right? Don't ever stop learning. A lot of people think they know it all. And, and some of you, and here's the thing, I've given my stuff away for free. I give all of my stuff on YouTube for free. I've given free stuff in there. And you know what? The people that go in for free, you don't take action. Why don't you take action on it? Because you don't have nothing that's hurting you to take action. I don't care if you buy my course or not. I don't care if you buy somebody else's. But what I would do is tell you is you got to invest in yourself. The best thing you can do for your business is invest in yourself. And I know that sounds crazy, but if you invest in yourself, that's what I had to do, because I started investing in myself. And guess what? I started to learn how to do marketing. And when I started to learn how to do marketing, my business started growing and it started scaling. I made it to $100,000 by year 2. I did, by year 4, we were at $1 million because I learned how to run Google Ads. I learned how to do SEO. We are 5 years from selling the business is when I sold the business, and the Google My Business is still ranking. It gets like 3,000 to 4,000 impressions a month. It gets like a crap ton of phone calls a month. It gets a couple hundred website clicks a month. That I haven't touched it in 5 years. Nobody's touched it in 5 years, and it still gets phone calls. It still gets website visits. It still gets all the stuff. Now, did that just happen overnight? Poof, because I made it happen? No, I put a lot of hours into that stupid thing. I put photos on there and tried to get my reviews and do more photos and Google My Business posts, and I put a lot of time in it, and then I kind of quit on it, right? And then when I sold it, I never did another thing to it, and it still draws, right? And that's the thing is once you start building that stuff, it will grow, and you don't even have to do nothing. I was asking him, the guy that got to $500,000, I'm like, what are you doing to get business down? He's like, not a whole lot, but he had over 380 some 5-star reviews, right? He's got tons and tons of pictures on his Google My Business. He puts out yard signs. He does the little things like that. Everybody wants to know what the silver bullet is of how can I just if I can just get all this money. You know what the number one thing of it is consistency. You have to be consistent in your business. If you're not consistent in your business, you will not grow. If you are going to do Facebook and that's going to be your main thing to grow your business because you don't have no money, you have to be consistent. You're not posting on Facebook once a day. You're posting on Facebook 10 times a day. And no, you're not posting about your pressure washing business 10 times a day, right? You're posting about all kinds of stuff. You're doing lives. You're doing everything, because that's what you got to do to grow your business. If you want to do LinkedIn, you gotta be posting 2-3 times a week, and you got to be commenting on 5 different people's stuff every day. Not just 1 week, not 2 weeks, not 10 weeks, 52 weeks, 100 weeks. Every week we've commenting on everybody. Every day we're commenting on 5 different people's things every day. And guess what? it will start rolling. That it's like a big snowball, right? And when you start a snowball, you start it small. And when you keep pushing it and pushing it, it gets bigger and bigger. What happens when you quit pushing it? Well, if it's not going down a hill, it just stops, right? Now, if you get it to a place that you can push it down the hill and let it go, it'll get bigger on its own. Sometimes it does that, right? That's kind of my Google My Business point of it took me 5 years to get it to there. And now 5 years later, it's still making money. It's probably made more money than what I sold the business for in those 5 years from the money that I put in, the time and money that I put into it. It's made more money than I sold the business for, because that's the important part of what consistency and why you have to be consistent with your marketing. And so these are the important things. If you want to get to $100,000, you can do this by yourself. You can get to $250,000 by yourself. There's no reason that you need to have a whole bunch of employees if you're only at $100,000. Because if you're at $100,000 and you got a bunch of employees, you're not making no money, right? At that point, you're going to be broke and you're going to be hurting. So, it's one thing to hire somebody here and there when you need help, but don't go out there thinking that I'm going to have all these employees and blah, 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 and you ain't even at $150,000, because if you're not at $150,000, it's going to be real hard to pay yourself and an employee. An employee, you pay him $20 an hour, you're going to pay $30,000. And if you got a real employee, that means you're paying workers' comp, you're paying payroll tax, you're paying all the other crap that goes along with it, and they tear up everything. And so that's something that you have to look at as we are trying to scale up this business to be able to grow that. And then don't think that it's easy. Overcome challenges, right? There's going to be days that everything is going to fall apart. There's going to be days that you got to deal with a difficult client, right? I have one of my guys in mentorship. He thought he screwed up $12,000 patio furniture. Luckily, he did the right thing. He went there. He talked to him. He tried to do everything he can. And, it might not be over yet, but at least he's trying it, right? That's the goal. You got to try it. You can't just be like, well, I'm not going to answer her phone because I screwed up I screwed this up. No, you got to take action, right? You have to take action, because if you don't take action, everything is going to go bad on you in the end. And so the biggest thing is what I teach you all from all my failures and setbacks. Pretty much, if I'm teaching you something, I screwed something up or my employee screwed something up. And that's why I teach the way I teach, because I don't want you to learn from your own failures, from failures that I've already got. Now, you are going to learn from your failures, but don't let failures stop you. Don't let failures stop you from growing your business. Don't let setbacks. Is it going to be all roses all day long? No, there's hard days. There's hard times, right? There's going to be times. I remember the transmission went out of another truck. A pressure washer blew up on another one. And the third one, there was something wrong with that one. We had one truck running. Everything was breaking down. It was one of the days that you're just like, I just want to go home and crawl under a rock. Now, if I did that, is that going to fix my problems? Is my problems going to go away? If I go drink a bunch tonight to try to drown my problems, is all my problems going to go away? No, they're still going to be there. The transmission's still going to be out. The motor's still going to be blown. Right? And so you got to just sit there and just, as the curveball comes at you, you got to take action, right? Action and responsibility speaks louder. Exactly. And this is something that you have to be able to look at what you got to do. Learning from your failures. And here's the deal with this. The faster you fail, the more failures you have, the faster you learn. So don't be afraid that it's not perfect or that you are going to fail, because the faster you fail, the faster you learn. So go out and don't be so scared of failing. I understand it's hard. I understand it's scary. I understand that you can, but here's the deal. You can do hard things. Right? My daughter, we took her flying. We all went out to Portland this past week. And She's scared to death of the freaking plane. Like, she cried halfway there, and I'm not even joking. She's super smart, but she don't know how a plane flies, and that worries the crap out of her. But you know what? If you want to do hard things, you got to just go do them. And otherwise, fear can hold you back from everything. You know, we had a guy that was like, I'm not good at sales. Guess what? Get better at it. Go out and try it. Go see what works. See what, and just try it. You got to go out and keep going. And when you're doing this, provide provide exceptional customer service, right? Do the little things. Answer your phone when they call you. Call them on the way there. Call them the night before. Text them on the way there. Text them the night before. Communication equals exceptional customer service. That's what exceptional. If you screw something up, go fix it. You screwed it up. You know, we got onto the whole things of terms and conditions. Just because you write it in a piece of paper that you screwed something up to think that you're not going to be paid for, you're going to be screwed, right? Because you're going to lose. You're going to lose all kinds of ways if you're like, well, my terms and conditions says that I'm not responsible for that because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. No, you screwed something up. Go fix it. Guess what? When you do that, that's amazing how you can do it. And don't ever stop learning. You know, some people are like, I just know it all. I know everything. You don't know everything. I still don't know everything. I've been in this business for 12 years now, 13 years, and I still don't know everything. I still learn something. Technology is changing. Google in 2 or 3 years ain't going to look the same as what it's looking right now. I can almost promise you on that. It is changing. Lots of things are changing. Lots of things are changing for marketing. Lots of change are changing they're just changing. So that's the thing. You know, you can build a strong reputation and get all your 5-star reviews, but in 2-5 years, they might not mean nothing because it might be something else. And so, you know, things have changed a lot in 12 years, and the things are going to even change more as we keep moving forward. Make sure that you're setting goals, right? Set goals and stay focused on your vision. Do you have a vision? What is your vision? A lot of times people don't have a vision. They're just like, I just want to make money. Well, if you don't have a vision, if you don't have goals, the likelihood of you making them is zero, right? And don't just put them in your head, but write them down. When you write them down, you have like a 75% chance of meeting your goals and vision. So that's why it's important that we write them down and, you know, getting through tough times and celebrating your wins. A lot of times we don't celebrate our wins. You know, Jason Hefner up here said $1,000 day was a big, you know, that's a big win. You should go celebrate that $1,000 day. When you hit a $10,000 month, you should go celebrate that you hit a $10,000 month. When you hit $100,000 month, you should go celebrate that you hit $100,000 month because that's amazing, right? And so when you hit $100,000 for a year, that's amazing. So go celebrate your little wins. But the biggest thing is you can do it. You know, we had a 20-year-old that did $160,000 last year, 90,000 in pressure or in Christmas lights, the rest in pressure washing. We had a 24-year-old doing $500,000. We had old people that were just kind of, and when I mean old, 40s, you know, 40, 50 people, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, and they were doing well too. But the biggest thing is just take action. If you think you're too old, you're not. If you think you're too young, you're not, right? You can sit there and say, I'm too young, I'm too old, I don't understand this stuff, whatever. It's just a matter of you got to go out there and take action, because a lot of times what's holding you back is fear, right? Well, I'm just too old. That's an excuse. We all got excuses. Quit making excuses for yourself. Excuses doesn't do you no good. Well, you just can't get that in my area. Excuse. Well, you just don't understand, Jason. Excuse. I understand. Do you understand is the question. I understand that you don't believe in yourself. I understand that you're not very good at marketing. I understand that you suck at sales. I understand these things, right? It's just like an employee. If something happens with an employee, is it the boss's fault or the employee's fault? The owner should be taking up extreme ownership, right? A great book. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. Actually, you know what? I just read a book this week on the way out there, and it's another great book. It's called Living with a Seal. It's Dave Goggins goes and lives with this dude for 30 days, and it's a great book. I highly recommend it. Living with a Seal, S-E-A-L. It's a great book. But with that, I'm going to go through these questions here and see what you all are up to. If you got any questions, put them down here and I will answer your questions. Get at least 100 yard signs, about 400 to 500 in Facebook. I put everything in yard signs. I love yard signs. Yard signs is one that I can get a lot of money off of it and about guarantee it. Well, I budget $1,000 for marketing. Do you think for now I should just do the 100 signs? I would do 1,000 signs. Actually, I'd do 300 signs. 300 signs is about $1,000. You can go to moneybushes.com and they're about $350 for 100 yard signs. What should I be posting to social media? Anything and everything, right? It's not just about pressure washing. It's about helping other people out. It's about commenting on other people's stuff. It's about whatever it might be. It can be all kinds of things. You can ask questions. You can do all kinds of things to start building fun. Andrew and Savannah, they do they'll be driving down the road doing a live doing mom and dad jokes. They'll do all kinds of stuff with their stuff there. Go to the chemical plants. They have plastic bags that are perfect. I don't even know what that one was for. What exactly should I put on the yard sign? You want to put on one service and big phone number. Pressure washing, phone number, nothing else. I know everybody wants to put their big logo up there. They want to put the 5 services they do. Pressure washing and phone number. That's what you want to put on there. What do you think about implementing virtual assistant services in business? Having a hard time closing jobs because of my accent. Yeah, absolutely you can. But is the virtual assistant going to have an accent? So that's something that you got to make sure that they have good English also. Should I have a separate tank of water to dip my chemical injector into? Is it bad to contaminate the water going through the pump? If you have a 3-way ball valve on there, you can put it into where it goes in the bleach and then just turn it to the water and it'll be fine for you. Yesterday, I quoted a guy $400 for a house wash. He said he'd never pay more than $100 to wash his house. In my mind, I said, go find those people back, or yeah, go find you. And you know, that's something too is you got to find the right people, right? If you're showing trailers on your social media, if you're showing the really dirty, nasty, crappy houses on your Facebook ads, guess what? Those are the customers that you're going to get. The cheap, crappy customers that ain't worth a crap, right? You got to go out there and find the customers that you got to go. That's why you put the big clean houses on there. And that's the customers that we're looking for. We're not looking for dirty, nasty houses. We're looking for the clean houses. The dirty, nasty houses are cheap customers, and cheap customers are your biggest pain in the butt customers out there. 3 months into it, last week, it was busy. Now for this whole week, nothing. You got to keep doing it. This is one of those things that a lot of times, this is why you got to be consistent on yard signs. This is why you got to be consistent on Facebook. This is why you got to be consistent on everything. A lot of times we get into the roller coaster that we do a bunch of marketing and then we get a bunch of jobs and we quit marketing because we're doing the jobs. Now the jobs are done. We didn't do no marketing. And guess what? We got to do it again. So you got to be consistent. That's why you got to put out 25, 50 yard signs every week, no matter if you're busy or not. You got to go do the 5 rounds. And when you're not busy, you do 20 rounds or 30 rounds, right? You are hammering on it. You don't be like, well, I got 3 jobs a day. I'm not going to do no marketing. No, you got to hammer on it. Like, you got to put the pedal to the metal and keep it going. I do a live video when I'm bored or waiting on water. Like this one job I did this past week, I made 4 live videos while I was bored. 1 gallon for every 5 to 8 minutes to fill up 7 different times. There's nothing worse than waiting on water. That sucks. And sometimes if you got bad water, you just wait. I think Jason liked one of them. What's up, Mr. Dallas? Action and responsibility speaks louder. I was door knocking one day and someone told me I have to have a permit to be door knocking. Maybe. Or they just want to try to scare you off. I know enough to get me in trouble. Things change every day. Yes, they do. What gutter bags do you all like? Size and mill? I never used them. I use this thing called water hose. That's what I used. But I would do as thick as you can. Because here's the thing about these gutter bags. What are you going to do with this stuff when you're done with it? Right? Are you going to put it dilute somewhere else? Action comes from how to handle a problem to how to solve the problem. You can be one of 2 people, responsible for your actions or don't take responsibility for your actions. And if you're the second one, you're probably not going to be in business. You've got to take responsibility of your actions. If you screw something up, you go fix it. It's your fault. If your employee screwed it up, you go fix it. It's your fault. And you know what? It will set you apart from anybody out there, and it'll be amazing for you. I promise you. Mix used for roof treatment. How to price roof treatments. So you're going to be at a 6% mix most of the time, which is 50-50, 1 gallon of water, 1 gallon of bleach, and that's going to get you to the 6%. And I would charge anywhere from about 40 cents to 60 cents per square foot for the house. I'd have a minimum of $600 is where I would be at. 30 years old, all my jobs I got was from yard signs. They say pressure washing. Should I order house wash on the sign next? No, you should not. You should keep your pressure washing signs. They do way better. You want customers to speak highly about you than to bash on poor actions or responsibility. You make money when highly spoken about. You lose money when you win money for poor responsibility. Early 40s here and wanting to start doing this as a side. Should I offer some freebies to get my experience before and after pics and hopefully they get the word out? You're probably not going to get no word out by doing that. If you're going to do freebies, you should probably come to one of my classes and learn how to do it properly and so that you can grow your business. Or you can go watch all my videos. I've got enough videos out there that shows you how to build everything and do everything. If I'm going to do something for free, I'm not doing much. It's probably not going to help you out. Just go out there and start putting signs. That's the goal. How many signs, can you afford $300 worth of signs, $350 worth of signs? Go buy you 100 signs, pressure washing phone number, and go out there and start getting paid for it. And if you don't know how to do it, then get trained so that you can be it right out of the get-go. A lot of times people are like, well, I'll just start out cheap and I'll raise my prices later. They never get out of cheap mode, and then they stay in cheap mode because then they'll be like, well, you just don't understand and you can't get that in my area. Well, because you started out cheap mode. Well, I called 5 other competitors and this is what their price is. Yeah, and they're all going out of business too. So that's why you don't do that. Mr. Tristan in the house. What's up? He had a very awesome win this week. by starting his pressure washing business. He's 24 years old and is growing his Christmasite pressure washing business. He did over $300,000 in 2023. His goal is over $500,000 to $600,000 in 2024, and he just bought his second rental property, which is freaking awesome, right? Talk about setting yourself apart and setting yourself up for success. That's what happens when you do this. I wish I knew half as much as he knew when I was his age, and I would have done the same thing. What do you want? To make money or to lose money? 5 to 6 roof mix, 25 to 50 cents per square foot, depending on height. I wouldn't do nothing under 25 cents, and I would have a minimum of $600 or more. Here's the deal with roof cleaning. So the deal I was talking about earlier is I almost quit doing roof cleaning when I had employees. There's a lot of things that can go wrong on a roof clean. One, you can kill a bush, and that bush can cost you $1,000 to $5,000. You can screw up furniture, you can screw up gutters, you can screw up all kinds of things by doing roof cleans. So that you can fall off the roof, and now you're even in worse pain than you are of that $400 roof clean because you didn't charge enough, right? So make sure you're charging enough for these roof cleans. My weakness used to be knock on doors or put out yard signs while people watching me. Now I'm getting better. Thanks, Jason. Thanks, guys. And I understand that. So go out there and do it, right? And how do you get better? By knocking more, by putting out another 100 yard signs, by knocking on another 100 doors. What should I put on the yard sign? Pressure washing phone number. That's it. Does voice search services work? There is things coming into voice search. It is, but it is what it is. Never quit marketing. If you're too busy, raise your prices. This is a good point. If you're 2 weeks out, you need to raise your prices. If you're a month out, you need to really raise your price. You're going to lose a lot of money at this point. But when you're 2 weeks out, raise your prices. And I don't mean raise it a penny. I mean raise your prices. Like, if this house wash is normally $500, now it's $700, right? Raise your prices. And what you'll find out is people will still say yes. And then you're like, well, crap, I'm doing this house today for $300 and I just priced it for $700. What am I doing wrong here? And that's the important part of what you got to learn how to grow your business. What percentage for SH for pavers with moss dwell time? If it's got moss in it, I would probably be 4 to 5%, and it don't take long to dwell. It'll kill it pretty quick. How do you clean a very dirty stained door and ceiling without SH? You don't. You stay the hell away from it because you're going to screw it up. Now, if they're all right to screw it up because it's that dirty, I would just clean it then, but it's probably going to screw it up. I have a 2500 PSI 1.8 machine with a foam cannon. Can I start with this and upgrade as I go? Yeah, you can. It's going to take you forever, is what it's going to do. But you can. Greg Townsend did it, and he started with his 1.8 and then went from there. I made $150,000 my first year thanks to Jason. The things you have to do are simple but not easy to do. And I love this, right? There is no magic wand that we do to get this here. Patrick said he did $150,000 his very first year. The biggest thing is consistency and being relentless, right? You got to consistently go put out yard signs. If you're going to do other things, you got to consistently post on Facebook. You got to consistently post in Facebook groups. If you're going to do groups, you consistently do it every day, every week, week after week after week. Whether you got jobs or if you're so booked up you don't know what to do, you got to be consistent and relentless. You do not let off the gas. You let off the gas, you'll be flat on your face. And so it's not easy to do, right? I make it sound easy to go put out 50 yard signs a week. That is not an easy thing to do. It's going to take you 4 to 5 hours or 6 to go put out 50 yard signs a week, because you can't put them all in the same area, right? You got to move them around. You got to go up to an hour away. You got to go another hour this way or 30 minutes this way. And you got traffic and you got all of these things. It's not easy to do, but it's possible. And that's the number one key is it is possible. There is nothing that is impossible. Everything is possible. The biggest thing is you got to take action. So take action, use yard signs. Repetition is the most important thing. Awesome. Thank you. I'll check out your classes. Been watching you in a lot of videos. Love the information. You can go check out all of my stuff at King of Pressure Wash. And I do have an in-person trainings coming up for pressure washing, kpwtrain.com. We'll get you those dates. How do I go about pressure washing, trying to get apartments and churches? You got to go out there and ask. You got to knock on doors. You got to go out there and go on LinkedIn. You got to go flip rocks and knock on the door and ask, who's in charge of this? How do I get this? How does the roof wash out the plants and gutters and more dangerous perceived during a house wash? If you do roof cleaning, it will kill everything. It'll kill all your bushes, everything, because you're at a 6% mix. A 4 to 6% mix is what you need to be able to clean roofs. A house wash, you're at about a 1 and a 1.5%. So you're a lot stronger chemical, which will kill all your plants and screw everything up. Last week, 2 decent jobs and 1 small job, $3,650 total in jobs. Do you think I care what other people charge? I base my business on quality, professional, and value that I give. How to protect koi ponds while pressure washing? Stay the hell away from them. That's how you prevent them. If it's got koi in them, you don't even spray bleach nowhere near that pond, no matter what. I wouldn't do nothing around that pond if it has koi fish in it. Kois are anywhere from $100 to $100,000 to $1 million. There's $1 million fish out there, and the last thing you want to do is go kill it. It will be the last one that you do, because you'll be out of business. I was thinking a brush and soap, but definitely don't want to mess anything up. I don't remember what that one was. Yeah, I don't remember what that one was. But thanks. Yeah. But I just want you to think about what you need to do to get to 6 figures. The biggest thing is taking action. You know, Patrick up here said he did $150,000 his very first year, and it's about taking action, right? The things you have to do are simple, but are not easy to do. This here is probably the best quote that you can do right here. They're simple to do. It's simple to go put out 100 yard signs a month, but it's hard. It's not easy to do, because you got to be consistent. You got to be relentless. You got to do it week after week after week. When you're tired, you don't want to go do it. You got to go put out your door hangers when it's 100 degrees out. I was talking about Jason Hefner up here, and Jason, I went and did a ride along with him, and it was not even the middle of summer. It was only about 90 degrees in January, and we went and did a ride along with him, and we did 3 jobs, and I was wore out, and I didn't even do all the work. Jason did all the work. But you know what? When he was done with that job, he went and did his 5 around, because it's important that you do all the little things, right? To do a 5 around after you've been working for 6, 7, 8 hours, you're tired. You don't want to do it, but it's about being relentless, right? I got to go do this 5 around. And if you're not busy, you go do a 25 around. You hit it all, right? And so that's why it's important that when we think about growing a business, it's not hard to get to 6 figures. Jason or Patrick said he did it for and did 150,000 his first year. But you got to be relentless, right? You got to be able to get up and do it. You got to have tough skin when that city calls and they say you're not allowed to put signs here, right? Okay, well, I'll put them in every other sign. Or you can be like some people and say, well, you ain't allowed to do signs here. They called and told me I wasn't allowed to do signs here, and I'm not going to put them up no more. Well, what about all the other cities that aren't calling you? That's just laziness at that point. That's just being an excuse. Are you going to keep excusing, or are you going to go out there and do the yard signs? Are you going to go out there and do the door hangers when someone says you need a permit? Well, let the city tell me I need a permit, and I'll quit putting them out, right? Do you want to keep putting them out, or do you want to be like, well, I don't know. I'm going to let this person discourage me because I'm not real confident. Well, guess what? Get out there and do it. It'll be amazing. It is amazing. I love seeing people grow in their business because you can have financial freedom. You can have time freedom. You can go be with your kids. I know there's some of you that are flying all week and gone, and you want to have more time with your friends or your kids. Guess what? It might be hard in the beginning, but it's worth it in the end if you do it. Now, if you're just doing it and trying to be cheap, it's not going to be worth it because you're going to go out of business, or you're going to spend a lot more time not doing what you need to do with your family because you're trying to build a business that's never going to grow because you're too cheap. So raise your prices. Don't be afraid to raise your prices. Don't give me the crap. You can't get that in my area. Try it. And not just try it once. Try it 10 times. And if you close 2 or 3 of them, thank me later. Because guess what? Those 2 or 3 jobs that you went high on will make you more money than those 7 jobs that you would have took cheap, and you would have been working a lot more and not making any money, because that's how it works. It works that way. Most people that I can tell you that are doing 250, 300, 700, 800, a million, they don't have a 70% close rate. They have a 30% close rate, 29% close rate, 35% close rate, because we don't want all the crappy customers. The crappy customers are the customers that are going to give you headaches later. The brush and soap was my ideal for stained wood. Oh, yeah, I'd be careful on stained wood. Brush, soap, nothing. You can't make money here in Florida. Too many $99 guys. Okay, Jason Hefner. That's what Jason Hefner told me. Jason Hefner started his pressure washing business. He's outside of Tampa. He's actually not. He's outside of Sarasota, and he joined my mentorship. He joined the mentorship, where not just the membership, but the mentorship, where you actually get access to me. And he called me, and he's like, you can't make money here in Florida. There's only $99 guys. Actually, he showed me the $49 guys and the $79 guys. You can't make money in Florida, is what he told me. And you know what I told him? Same thing I'm going to tell you. If you do what I tell you to do and you take action, don't worry about that, because I'll tell you what happened. Now he's in year 4 or 5. And guess what? He's made $250,000 last year in Florida, and he don't work weekends, and he's a full-time firefighter. So he's not even full-time pressure washer, and did $250,000. And his exact words is what you said right here, almost word for word, is you can't do that down here in Florida because there's only $99 guys. Well, guess what? If you believe that, you're right. You will never make it in pressure washing. You won't make it in any business because you don't believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself, and that's how you got to grow your business. I put my signs out through the night. I find it the most peaceful time. There's nobody out to bug you. Flying out of CVG. How many trucks you need for $1 million? You need probably about 3. You can do 250 to 300,000, 350ish with that. You could do 4, but your profit margin is going to go down tremendously. So, I've got a guy that did $1 million with 1 truck, and he was still on the truck. He just did a lot of commercial work. So, just depends on where you are. But other than that, I hope you all have an amazing week this week. The phone should be ringing. If you've done your work, the phone should be ringing. The grass is growing. People have to mow it every week, and now they're going to be looking at their houses. And guess what? That means that is a good sign for you to get your business going. So if you want to go check out kingofpressurewash.com, I have a membership in there. I have everything to teach you how to grow your business. And that's only the big bonus of it is every Monday night, we have about 20 to 40 people that come on every Monday night for the Zoom call. And on that Zoom call is people from starting out to $400,000 or $500,000 asking questions and growing their business together. And it's an amazing thing. You know, originally when I did that Zoom call, it was for the newbie, but it's kind of turned into people that are actually doing six figures and above. And so it's awesome to see people growing their business in there. So if you want to go check that out, check out kingofpressurewash.com. Also, I'll be having some training, in-person training at kingofkpw.com. You can find all that information there. People say that, but the cost of living is so high in Tampa Bay area that there's no way you can survive not to charging that high. And that is very true, right? If you want to stay in business, you have to charge to be able to stay in business. Okay, same profession right across the river from you. Yeah, well, yep. But other than that, I hope you all have an amazing night, and tell Jody I said hi. But I hope you all have a great night, and we'll see you all later.